Racial profiling in America. It's a big issue today. A couple got approached by security guards because based on their race, the security guard made an assumption that they stole something from a store, but had no other basis. Someone called the police on a group of black women on a golf course because they were taking too long. Continue watching as my classmates and I discuss this issue.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Hi, I'm Karthik.
I'm Maya.
I'm Ruby.
Alright, and today we're going to be talking about racial profiling. So what do you guys know about racial profiling?
They profile by race, right? Is that what they do?
Yeah, so can you elaborate, what are your thoughts on it?
It's like, do they order by a person's skin color? Is it someone doing something by that?
Yeah, it can also be just stereotypes the person has about the certain race that they apply to everyone.
I would say basically making assumptions based off of the appearance of somebody. So that can go as far as arresting somebody or just not liking them because of the way they look.
Yeah, people are more likely to get pulled over or stuff if they're black rather than if they're white. Or if a white person is caught with weed, they're less likely to go to jail or
Less time?
yeah.
While a black person would have a stricter sentence, higher rates of sentencing, you know?
Or also how you get treated when you get arrested. If a black person gets arrested, they might be beaten or cursed at, but a white person that too.
Yeah.
But a white person will just be sit
Well, just
down.
left you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why do you guys think this happens so much, and who do you think is prone to
It happens so much, for example, 9/11, right? Arabs, after that day, were never exactly treated the same. Before 9/11, they were all just regular people you see on the street. But then after 9/11, every Arab you saw were a terrorist or something like that.
Yeah, I guess just societal norms, everybody making it okay. It's not really a thing that was talked about a lot when it started happening. So everybody thought it just is what it is, but talking about it more kind of not prevents it, but shuts it down a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's because of assumptions and stereotypes made about people.
Yeah. Do you think you're born profiling people or making assumptions about people, or is it something that's passed down? And do you have a conversation with your parents okay, this is what we think about this certain type of people, and if not, then how does that get passed down?
I think we're knowing how to profile people, you know? Our parents, we know they are our parents because they've been taking care of us, that's obvious, but there's others our teachers, we profile them, people we see on the street, who to hang out with, who to not talk to.
Where do you think that comes from?
Instinct.
I think it's more of a thing that's subtly shown all throughout, when you grow up. Your parents show it, even if they try not to. They still show, children pick up on a lot of things that aren't said because it's all they know because they can't even speak themselves.
Right.
So they're going a lot off of, body language. So how you act towards a certain type of person kind of shows them who they're supposed to be cool with, who they're not supposed to be cool with. And also in TV or music or whatever, they can pick up on things from that's being said and they don't even know it's being said. So I feel it's more of a thing that's not really, hey, we don't like black people. It's more of they're showing they don't like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What was the question again?
Just where do you think this idea comes from, and how do people pick up?
Okay, yeah, I think it's based on what you see when you're growing up, and I don't think you're born with it, but when you see it, you have bias, it's part of you, and even if you don't want to help it, it's there because that's what you've seen and that's how you grow up.
So how do you think profiling is or why do you think it's so dangerous?
I think is harmful in large doses. So getting profiled once is like, oh dang, that kind of sucks. But if it's like a continuous occurrence, it's like, why does this keep happening? It causes more pain and
Harassment.
yeah.
And you think, like, what are you doing wrong
Yeah.
to, like, put out
Treat
that
us.
message?
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on both parties, you know. You could be profiling someone, you wouldn't even know it. It's like it's right there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
instant almost.
Like, yeah, you don't mean to do it. It's just instinct. Just what happens.
I guess it's really it's all people know. Like, no matter how much you try to say you don't have bias, everybody has bias towards something. Like, even like I have bias towards macaroni and cheese because I like macaroni and cheese. Like, it's as small as that. And I think it's something that's gonna take a while to get rid of, but we can't act like it's not here.
So what do you think some of the things we can do to change our mindset to get rid of the assumptions that we make about people?
Breaking the ice. You know, you don't know the person, you might as well get to know them, right?
Yeah.
Kind of go into, like, with a clean slate for each person that you meet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put yourself in like that person's shoes. Like, would you want him or her to make the same assumptions about you that you're making about them? You know what I'm saying? Like, just like you were saying, come into it with a clean mindset.
Yeah, just like try to really think about how you're gonna treat someone before you do. And then, what was I gonna say? I don't think like it's hard to get rid of other people's like biases and how they think like right now. And I think like you can't change the way someone treats another person, and they have to do that. So we just have to teach like future generations to.
I agree. It all starts with like us. So like if one person takes that initiative to change themselves, then we can change other people, or everybody can change at the end of the day.
So since this is, like, something that is kind of passed on without talking about it, how can we, like, change how future generations go about this, or I guess not profiling people?
Yeah.
Wait, can you repeat that?
So, like, since it's not something that's taught verbally, how can we prevent it in future generations?
I mean, as kids, weren't we taught, like, meet new people, though?
Yeah.
So, isn't that basically counteracting racial profiling?
Yeah.
I would say you kind of don't want to, but you're kind of gonna have to step on eggshells really when it comes to kids, because they're like sponges and they absorb everything. So you're really gonna have to be careful and make good decisions in what you are saying and what you are showing, and it all boils down to just making sure you're a good human being.
Right. So what do you think about teaching the opposite? Like teaching, okay, everyone should be treated equally. This is how people should be treated no matter what they look like. And instead of like setting the example of like profiling.
Like, how should we teach that?
Yeah, or should we teach that? And is that a conversation that should be had in like in school maybe or at home? And do you think that would like pose any problems?
I guess it shouldn't be taught, mainly because it's common sense, I guess.
Well,
You're
then
not
a lot of
supposed
people
to-
don't have that.
You're not supposed to say, I see a black person, he does crack, he does this, he does that. He's probably been in jail like 20-something times. You're not supposed to think that. You're not supposed to say it.
Yeah. Well, in a
So-
lot of situations, people do think that, and they
Yeah.
do say that. People like are just arrested just based on how they look instead of did they actually do it or not. So maybe it should be a conversation like at home or in school, because not everybody's parents will want to talk about it.
I think it should be.
Yeah, I
Talking
think it
about-
definitely should be.
Because a lot of kids, like, when you ask adults when's the first time they experienced, like, racism or racial profiling, a lot of it happened when they were, like, in kindergarten or young,
Yeah.
or, like, little instances that happened when they were younger. So if you go ahead and teach it from a young age, then there's no room for that to get in there.
Yeah. I also think that they should be like exposed to a diverse group of people when they're younger, because it's not just like saying like, oh yeah, don't discriminate, but like you also have to show them different, like, yeah.
I totally agree with that. because my dad went to Kansas, my mom, and they had my sister, and it was like they were so shocked to literally see a black person. Like they literally said it out loud, like, "Oh my gosh, she's black!"
Yeah.
Like, so if people were like exposed to different races and things and cultures and experiences and things like that, then it wouldn't leave any room for racism or microaggressions.
Yeah, I had a similar situation. So we went to Maine, and my parents went to a grocery store, and the people there were like, "Oh, are you new? Like, we've never seen you before. Like, basically, why are you here?"
Yeah.
So my parents had to like explain why we were there, and it was just kind of weird because like, why would you? Like, can people not travel to different places? It just made me feel like uncomfortable. Like, I wasn't even there, and they came back and told me. I was like, that just made me feel uncomfortable because I was like, are we not like welcomed here?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of weird. But so do you guys have any experiences with racial profiling?
I don't exactly remember any. If I had any awkward experiences, I just walk out of them or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of weird to see people like, as they call it, not woke. You know, like, how do you not even know there's people different than you?
Right. And that they obviously thought about it and thought, okay, that's a good thing to ask. Them.
Yeah.
Like, why are you
That's
here?
a good question. Let me say it.
Right.
And plus, like, when we were kids, our parents would say, like, when they see a person on the street, strangers, don't talk to them or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't try to, like, go with that type of group. Don't try to be with that type of person. And then, so, like, coincidentally, I kind of liked hanging out with those type of people. I don't know why. I just liked them. They were like that, you know?
That's true.
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
the person you don't want to be with, they warn you to stay away from. It's the kind of person you like relate to a lot or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's true. So I guess in teaching stranger danger, it kind of puts that hidden message, anybody that's different than you,
Right.
or anybody that you don't know, then don't approach.
True.
Yeah. You guys have any final thoughts?
No.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you guys for participating.
You're welcome.